Happy Sunday, Striver. I hope that you found some peace this weekend. You took a few deep breaths, you took a long walk, and at some point you just decided, wow, okay, another week is done. Let me release this past week, no matter what happened, no matter what I struggled through, no matter what I faced, no matter what the difficulties were. Let me release the energy of that week, live in this weekend, find peace and presence, and prepare for this next week. Isn't that a beautiful way to deal with a Sunday? Letting go of last week, finding presence and peace today, preparing for next week. Now, if you've been with us here for a while in Growth Day, you know that I love to use Growth Day, the app, for my own Sunday review. I like to go smash that journal section and click the button that says weekly review. I like to go into the life scores and click my weekly scores there as well. Just look back at my habits and really make sure I capture my learnings from each week, because in doing that, I feel like once I've learned from the week, I can let it go. Even though I'm still going to deal with some of the things next week because of last week, I can let it go. I've captured my learnings. There it is. Okay. And now I can decide that this next week, as I enter the new week, I can prepare for just what ultimately is another part of my hero's journey, part of your hero's journey. You know, if you're a geek into personal development, of course, you've come across the hero's journey before from Joseph Campbell and his sort of mythic structure about how stories are told, where in Act 1, our hero is in the ordinary world, and you know, you just learn about how that character is in the regular world, and then something happens, you know, a call to adventure or a crisis, and that the person usually refuses it, doesn't want to deal with it, ultimately has to deal with it, enters, you know, the special world in Act 2, where there's lots of different tests that they have to go through. They have enemies, you know, they kind of go through some major ordeal that challenges their character or their capabilities, and then hopefully they win and, you know, head on back to the ordinary world in Act 3. I like to think of it like that, but I suppose I simplify it. To me, a lot of our journey is about, you know, those moments in life when we decide simply to change. Sometimes we decide to change because we just reflect on our character and we realize we're not living up to our potential. Sometimes we choose to change because crises, you know, we don't have a choice. Something awful or you know, what Campbell calls a call to adventure happens, and you didn't want to make that call, it called on you. And whether we change because of a crisis or we change because of sort of a character revelation or a character discovery, that we discover that we're more, or maybe we change because we're inspired by our collaborators, our peers, our culture. You know, something lifts us to another level. I think that a lot of the real hero's journey starts with the first step forward in conscious change. And I would say, you know, no matter what time of year it is, especially now, it's a great time of year to make some conscious change. To say, okay, that's, you know, I recognize I'm being called by destiny or something higher to rise up, to improve my life, to take things to the next level, whether that's just because I'm a leader and it's time I'm a better leader, or it's you're a caregiver and it's time to be a better family member, or you're an individual contributor but it's time to start playing at the team level. There's something that's always asking us to rise up and do better. And I think that's a great thing, because with change, there's always also a critical choice that we make consciously that says, I am willing to push myself again, or I am willing to push myself to the next level. That critical choice, I am willing to push myself. I accept the challenges of this world, or I will develop challenges of my own to rise to that next rung of my human potential. That's a critical choice that I believe is important on the hero's journey. Of course, we've always got the crucible part of the hero's journey. You know, in the next weeks and the next months, you're going to go through a lot of stuff. And I always say, make sure that you're designing some of that. You're designing the difficult challenges forward. That means you're setting very difficult, very hard goals for yourself. Even if they're goals you don't yet know how to achieve, well, those are often some of the best goals. I know we got very placated into believing that everything has to be a SMART goal. If you've ever seen my famous video on YouTube about dumb goals, I think you'll appreciate this, because I think there's ways to set goals that, I like SMART goals. I like task management. I like playing at that known level, but I also like how the grand adventurers, the great innovators, the big dreamers, the people who really move the needle of history, they set a goal or a target and they had no idea yet how to do it. And they worked and endeavored to make it happen. And it didn't mean they didn't have SMART goals along the way, but they didn't limit themselves to SMART goals. I always think SMART goals are very good as stage 2 of goal setting. Stage 1 is the big unknowable dreams. The stuff that you're like, I have no idea. Is it SMART? Probably not. Is it measurable? I don't even know how to measure it yet. Is it something that's realistic? Who knows? It's such a big dream. Is it time bound? I have no idea when I could do it. Like stage 1 is, gosh, I'm going to plan the future with great vision. And then I'll start breaking it down into smaller task chunks, which I think is what people really are referring to when they call things SMART goals, personally. Because I have never met a grand hero who talked about SMART goals. They usually talked about wild, crazy ass, big, audacious dreams that they then ultimately, as a step towards it, as a move towards it, they became more and more and more organized and focused towards its actualization. But here we are on this hero's journey, thinking about our future together. We're thinking about the change that we consciously want to make. We're thinking about the critical choice to try to challenge ourselves, do something new, to challenge ourselves to realize that we're going to face the crucibles of life. I honestly think the last several years has been a crucible for people. And out of this challenging time, something happened. Either A, we revealed our character, and that character was stuck in the past, or B, we decided to forge a new character. And we decided not to end on Joseph Campbell's, return to the ordinary world, but rather we did something special. We decided to create the new world. Not return to the ordinary. Stay in the extraordinary. Build the extraordinary. Create the new world. Think about that. Your world has been upended in the last couple of years. So now, with the way your life is right now, is it a total reaction to all of that, or has there been some conscious design? Have you been crafting your new world in a way that you're going to enjoy, you're going to love, you're going to find your own meaning and fulfillment with? If you haven't, please make sure you are a pro member here in GrowthDay and go watch December 2021's training from our teachers who taught about meaning and fulfillment. 10 different teachers teaching about meaning and fulfillment from very different life experiences, life angles, different careers, different jobs. And yet we all taught about how to find meaning and fulfillment. And at the end of the day, the central message was, you create that. You shape that. You choose that consciously. Even when it's hard, even when you have to say no to other things, even when you have to focus or narrow or change what you're doing, that's part of the journey. To me, the ultimate hero's journey is the hero continually reinventing or creating the new world upon which he, she, or they choose that they want to be living in. It doesn't mean you don't have to deal with the stuff from the ordinary world. Trust me, we all deal with underperformers, collaborators, teammates, family members, friends who we think, oh my gosh, could they get their act together? But we also, if we have some grace, can recognize we were that person sometimes too. And so we can decide to live with compassion. And even as we may or may not have the support of everyone else around us, we can choose to continually keep architecting, shaping, building, creating the new world upon which we want to live in. It doesn't mean we can create it or build it overnight, but every day, brick by brick, board by board, nail by nail, day by day, we're creating that destiny, that future, that legend of our life. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. If you did, hop in your journal. And if you haven't already, capture what are the big dreams you have in the next months, years, or even decades of your life. What do you want your life to look like? What would that dream be like? Maybe you capture some things about the crucibles or the challenges or ordeals you're going through with right now. And how are you going to choose to face them? One of my favorite journaling activities is that. I write down a conflict, a challenge, a difficulty, an ordeal I'm going through right now. And then I journal and just write about, this is the type of person I am going to be as I meet this challenge. These are the thoughts I'm going to have. This is what I'm going to tell myself when I get low. This is what I'm going to remind myself when I'm having an awful day. These are the character traits of the person who's going to deal with this crucible. And by doing that, I always feel like I'm consciously meeting life versus just reacting from the smallest part of who I am. These next weeks and months and years should be extraordinary for yourself, and you will always feel that as long as you know you are consciously designing, consciously growing and learning and getting better. It doesn't mean you have to be the world's best or you have outstanding, huge leaps of change. What it means is on your journey, you feel like you are consciously putting that one foot in front of that other foot, in front of the foot again and again and again and again. You keep taking steps and actions towards living your best life. You can architect that. You can really architect that. And that's what we do here with you and for you as an inspired community in GrowthDay. If you need some support in architecting that future, please make sure you check out our courses. Go to growthday.com/courses and make sure you upgrade so you can unlock thousands of dollars of personal development courses. Our students call it the Netflix of personal development. You'll call it the most consciously designed learning curriculum you've ever seen for personal development. We roll out a new course every single month for you. We break it down to keep you on track. We unlock the whole library. So for those dorks out there like me who just would binge consume like an entire, 2 or 3 courses in a row in a weekend, awesome. Or you can let us guide you through all year long to build your best life. You're on a journey right now. There's something of a moment of transition in your life. And if that's true, it's time to up-level the curriculum that you have in your life. Check out growthday.com/courses to upgrade today. I want to thank you for being part of this community, especially this time of year, all the inspiration, all the sharing, all the excitement out on social media. If you're not already following us, make sure you follow us at GrowthDay on Instagram. Give us a shout out, give us a DM. Tell us why you're enjoying GrowthDay. We'd love to hear from you. Hop into the community, share some of your ahas and lessons learned that you're getting from any of the app tools, whether it's tracking your habits, writing your journal, setting your plan, taking in those challenges. We'd love to hear from you. It's you guys sharing what you're learning that cheers us on as a company to keep building for you. We appreciate you, and I love that you showed up today for today's Daily Fire because it's Sunday, and you showed that even on Sundays, every day is a great day to grow.